Hello, welcome back to the third and final part of my focus on Tom Palmer, the great inker. And here is my copy of X-Men 59, classic beautiful drawing, The Last X-Men. And I brought this out just so that I can show example of the beautiful inking work of Tom Palmer on Neal Adams penciling. And here's a perfect example of really fine feathering. I'm not sure the right way to describe Tom Palmer's style of inking, but right here, it's a beautiful rendition of feathering, and as usual, very sharp edges. And with this series of work, Tom Palmer, in my opinion, as I have mentioned in prior video, make Neal Adams shine so much, if not the most in his entire career, in my opinion. But look at this beautiful drawing. Okay, just look at how the inking is with Cyclops. Now, this video is focusing on what I think did not work. Tom Palmer is a great inker, okay, and he can ink anywhere from Neal Adams to someone like Gene Colan, which is almost impossible for many inkers to handle. But there is one corroboration that I felt did not work very well. I think part of it is the penciler, and part of it is Tom Palmer. So I think the blame, if you want to call it, is not entirely on Tom Palmer's shoulder that things did not work, in my opinion. But I put, I share the flaw of that corroboration on both the penciler and the inker. So when there was an announcement that John Byrne was coming back drawing the X-Men, I was extremely thrilled, especially when I heard that Tom Palmer was being teamed up with the great John Byrne. What more can I ask for, right? You have my favorite inker working with perhaps one of my favorite penciler. So X-Men Hidden Years, a great concept. I love it. Everything about this series when it was announced thrilled me very much, and I could not wait for this book to come out. And sadly, I was very disappointed in many aspects of this series. The story was okay. I did not have a problem with the story as much as I have a problem with the art. John Byrne was still good, but it's hard for me to separate myself from the John Byrne that did the X-Men as well as the Fantastic Four. So when this series came out, and I eagerly went to the store to buy it, to be honest, I was very disappointed right off the bat after the very first few pages, because I felt both the penciling and the inking was not up to my expectation. Okay, so let's make it very clear, for many people out there, this may be fantastic, this may be awesome, but just for me, as a big John Byrne fan and a Tom Palmer fan, I felt that the penciling and inking here was lacking. As I show here on this comparison, just look at how sharp and tight the penciling is as well as the inking is. Okay, just look at that. Just perfect in my opinion. And then just looking at this splash page, I just didn't like how even the rocks and the sand and the ground was looking, right off the bat. And even here, it feel incomplete. That's about as best as I can explain it. And just look at this inking on Hulk. It's not bad, okay? I'm not saying that this is a bad inking job by any means, but it just doesn't seem to be complete to me. Like, I would expect this to be much darker and feather into the edge, but this cross check, whatever you want to call it, just did not work for me. And if you own this series and flip through it, maybe you agree with me. But like I said, there are just way too many panels, if not full pictures, where I just didn't enjoy the art very much. And just look at this picture of Professor X. I mean, you're not going to find any Professor X that look anything like this. As far as the inking, okay, I'm not talking about the drawing, but it seemed very lacking in the way the shadow should be playing on his face. Okay, and then I can put out some more example to show you why I felt the corroboration between Palmer and Byrne was definitely not the highlight of Tom Palmer. Here's a perfect example. I pull out, let's see, another issue. Like I said, it's easy for me to pull out any pages. This is issue 3. And just flip through this big page. It's a beautiful, well-drawn page, in my opinion, but just look at the inking on Ka-Zar. I would have expected much more, feathering going on here in the shading, but it just, to me, I just don't like all of these lines. It just doesn't make any sense to me, from a perspective of a John Byrne and Tom Palmer fan. When I flip through something like this, I just didn't like it. It just did not work for me as far as the inking. So there you go. I don't want to belabor my point further. I still love Tom Palmer, but I just want to give the negative view on some of his work. And certainly, I believe that this is one series where I was disappointed. Certainly, I did buy the series and continue to buy all the way to the end. But as far as my expectation and what I actually felt once I bought these books, I was definitely not very happy with the work on both Byrne and Palmer. It's still good, but when the expectation is so high, it's hard to live up to my expectation. Anyhow, thanks for watching.